How much money do you need to live out your dream lifestyle? Do you have a number in your head? What is it? 5 million, 10 million or 100 million? Now what if I told you that this number to live out your dream lifestyle doesn't need to be that high? Moreover, there is a philosophy that will actually help you achieve your lifestyle within this lifetime. In this video, I will show you how to do exactly that. Hey guys, welcome back to Inside Junkie, and today we're talking about Dan Lok's book FU Money. Dan Lok had come to Canada from Hong Kong at the age of 14. Now when he was very young, his family lost all the money they had and they were struggling to get by. And when he saw that look in his mother's eyes when she said that they lost everything, he swore to himself that he would do whatever he could to never have his mom go through that ever again. Now fast forward to today, Dan Lok is known as the king of high ticket sales. He lives his dream lifestyle of luxury and comfort, and he was able to do that because of the concept of FU money. So let's get started. Firstly, what is FU money? FU money is basically the amount of money that allows you to do whatever you want in your life. You can basically say FU to anyone you don't want to work with. You don't have to listen to a boss who's annoying you. You don't have to live in a place that is so polluted that you can't breathe. And you don't have to live with anyone that you don't want to. Imagine the kind of car you want to drive, the kind of house you want to live in, the kind of vacations you want to go on. Whatever the amount of money needed to achieve that, that is your FU money. The next point is how to calculate your FU money. Most people, when they think about their FU money, they think about numbers that are extremely high. Most of us, when we imagine living like a Hollywood rock star, we imagine that we would need millions and millions of dollars to achieve that lifestyle. But Dan Lok actually shows us that the lifestyle that we are looking for may not be that far off from where we are today. To calculate your FU money, you need to have your FU money targets. For example, some of your FU money targets could be to drive a luxury car, to live in a big house, to go on an exciting vacation once a year, or to quit your job. Dan Lok says that most people are vague about how much money they actually want to make. So you should not be vague and you need to be extremely precise. For example, here's what Dan Lok's FU money targets looked like. He wanted a luxury flat, and the mortgage for it would cost him about $159,000 a year. He wanted to lease 2 sports cars, which would cost him $36,000 a year. And he wanted to go on 4 exotic vacations in a year, which would cost $40,000 a year. Now he made an extremely long list of everything he wanted, and at the end of it, the total came out to be about $600,000 a year. Now that is living life like a rock star. And sure, $600,000 a year is a lot of money, but it's not nearly the millions and millions of dollars people think it would be. And once you start figuring out what kind of life you want, you might realize that there are things that you might actually not want. Dan Lok realized that he did not want to live in a big house. He said that he was much happier living in a small luxury condo. The next point is that you have to set your DIG. That is your daily income goal. Now that you know how much money you need to make to live your dream lifestyle, you need to break it down into how much money you need to make each day. Most people break down their income in quarters or months, but Dan says that why should we wait until the end of the month to know if we're on track? So let's say you want to earn $100,000 this year. Let's say you're going to work 300 days out of the 365 days you have. And you work about 8 hours a day. So in total, you have about 2,400 hours to work in a year. So you divide $100,000 by 2,400 hours and you get about $41 an hour. So in order to make $100,000 a year, your time should be worth at least $41 an hour. In fact, Dan Lok says that usually all 8 hours of your day aren't productive. So to account for that, multiply that number by 3 to make up for unproductive hours. So to make $100,000 a year, you should aim for something around $120 an hour. Now you might be scratching your head looking at this number and thinking, how in the world are you going to make that money? And here is where the next point comes in. Learn a high income skill. A high income skill is any skill that is so valuable that people or businesses are willing to pay you a lot of money to solve their problems. For example, if you're a leadership or business consultant for CEOs, you have a high paying skill. Or let's say you have a YouTube channel and a big following on social media, so you can help other businesses gather their own following on social media, and that is your high income skill. Now it's obvious that you cannot start charging this much right off the bat, but it's good to have this number in your head so that you can keep improving and building your own value until you reach that number. And those who are trying to figure out how they can make their FU money by working their 9 to 5 jobs, According to Dan Lok, it's pretty much impossible to do that in a traditional job unless you have an outlier job like being a CEO or a vice president. And the next point is, know what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do for your FU money. It is very important to be certain about what you're willing to do. For example, I would never steal from people or cheat people or break any laws to make my FU money, and you shouldn't either. However, you have to be willing to put all your hard work in the beginning of your journey to learn that high income skill to make your FU money. If you're not willing to work hard for it, then you're not going to get your FU money. It's that simple. Now, working hard doesn't mean blindly working hard. There are so many people who work hard, but what you need to do is combine it with working smart. Use your time efficiently. Learn to delegate things to other people so that you can get some of your time back and you can focus on the things that are your actual strengths. So smart work combined with hard work is what will get you closer to your FU money. So to summarize, in this video you learned about what is FU money, calculating your FU money, setting your daily income goal, learning a high income skill, and knowing what you're willing to do and what you're not willing to do. Now, Dan Lok is actually giving away his ebook and the audiobook for free on his website, so I'll put a link to that in the description below. That's all for this video. If you like this video, then please click the like button, and if you like watching videos related to self-improvement and personality development, then please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon so you don't miss any of the future videos. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.